What if I told you that some of the most well-known R&B icons were also among the biggest cheaters? Like their music, these R&B artists' cheating scandals have become legendary. From our star Aubrey Drake Graham, who has had a series of relationships with renowned women, coupled with cheating, to the icon Marvin Gaye, whose marriage ended in divorce because he was involved with a lady much younger than him. Here are 20 biggest cheaters in R&B history. Number 1. Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Jay-Z, a prominent figure in hip-hop and business, and Beyoncé, a global superstar and one of the most successful female performers of all time, have been together for a long period. Their relationship was kept pretty discreet when they first started dating in the early 2000s. They worked together musically on a number of projects, such as the 2003 release of the popular song Crazy in Love. Despite the public's long-standing curiosity in their relationship, the pair married in a secret ceremony in 2008. The media gave these two powerful musicians a lot of attention when they were paired, but the public didn't realize the deeper problems in their relationship until much later. Rumors about Jay-Z's adultery peaked in 2014 following the publication of Beyoncé's highly regarded album, Lemonade. The album makes reference to infidelity in the couple's marriage, with its emotionally packed songs about loss, betrayal, and healing. The iconic line, "Becky with the good hair," from one of the highlight songs, Sorry, was interpreted by fans as a reference to a lady Jay-Z had an affair with. The record created a media frenzy as both press and fans searched for the elusive Becky. It was generally believed that the songs were addressing actual marital problems, even though neither Beyoncé nor Jay-Z at the time officially acknowledged the details of the accusation. Lemonade became a global phenomenon because of the couple's vulnerability in discussing this problem so openly. Jay-Z acknowledges cheating in the title track. 444 reflects on his behavior and makes a commitment to improve as a man. One of his most open moments in his career, it's a direct reaction to the conflicts revealed in Lemonade. In the album, a man made an effort to rebuild his integrity and the trust that had been damaged in his marriage. Number 2, Usher Raymond. Usher's big break came when he performed in a local talent show and was noticed by executives in the music industry. In 1994, he released his self-titled first album after signing with LaFace Records at the age of 14. However, he didn't really become well-known until his second album, My Way. The album produced a number of successes, including Nice and Slow and You Make Me Wanna, which highlighted his distinctive blend of pop and R&B and his smooth, falsetto-heavy voice. Usher married stylist Tamika Foster in 2007, and their relationship gained a lot of attention due to their age differences. Usher was 28 and Tamika was 38, and the 2005 news that they were having a child together. The mainstream media regularly reported on their marriage, citing arguments and stress, as well as some purported cases of Usher's adultery. Usher and Tamika were married for 2 years before splitting up in 2009. After their divorce was finalized in 2010, several of the issues that had harmed their relationship were made public. Later, Usher acknowledged that his music frequently mirrored his own challenges, especially in his album Confessions, where a number of songs dealt with themes of relationship problems, adultery, and guilt. His well-known songs, Confessions, which is frequently seen as a mirror of his personal life at a particularly trying period. Usher has acknowledged that a number of the songs on the album, notably Confessions Part 2, were influenced by actual events, and the album's theme revolves around infidelity. Notably, Usher confessed to his fiancée in Confessions Part 2 that he had cheated, fathered a child with a different lady, and felt profound regret for his conduct. Number 3. Chris Brown. In the 2000s, Chris Brown and pop sensation Rihanna had one of the most well-known relationships due to their artistic partnership, as well as the tense and widely reported fallout following the 2009 domestic abuse incident. However, following their 2012 reconciliation, the cheating suspicions about their relationship gained more attention. Despite their turbulent, intermittent relationship, there were constant accusations that Chris had cheated on Rihanna. Tension between the two increased after their brief reunion in 2012 when rumors circulated that Chris had cheated once more. Notwithstanding her forgiveness, Rihanna made references to adultery in a few of her songs, particularly Love on the Brain and other songs from her album Anti. Although it was never officially acknowledged, there was a feeling that Chris's wandering eye played a part in their final, permanent split in 2013. After learning that Chris Brown had been cheating on her, Karrueche Tran ended their relationship in public. When Tran discovered that Chris had fathered a kid with Nia Guzman while they were still dating, the infidelity issue was made public. When the baby, a girl called Royalty, was born in 2014, Tran was distraught. Later, Karrueche used interviews and social media to share her dissatisfaction and grief. She claimed that she felt deceived by the circumstances and accused Chris of being untruthful with her. She also disclosed that she had not known about the child until their breakup. In addition to publicly apologizing for his behavior, Chris Brown said he was trying to be a better parent to his kid. Number 4. Marvin Gaye. In 1963, Marvin Gaye wed Anna Gordy, and the two remained together until 1977. Although it appeared to be a successful union at first, friction and adultery eventually marred it. Gaye's relationship with Tammy Terrell, a Motown singer, was one of the most talked about of his many alleged relationships during this period. Performing classics like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and Your Precious Love, Terrell was one of Gaye's most well-known collaborators. The two had a tight working relationship. There were rumors that their relationship extended beyond their work because of their obvious chemistry on stage. Gaye fell in love with Janice Hunter, a somewhat younger lady, when his marriage to Anna Gordy ended in 1977. Hunter, a model, was the daughter of a close friend of Gaye's, due in part to their age gap. Gaye was in his late 30s and Hunter was in her early 20s, and the fact that Gaye was still going through his divorce from Gordy, their relationship was widely reported and controversial. Despite the difficulties in their relationship, Gaye and Hunter eventually produced 2 children together. These 2 well-known relationships were not the only infidelity committed by Marvin Gaye. His drug addiction and mental health issues were frequently linked to his infidelity. Gaye's music and relationships were impacted by his emotional and psychological problems, which were made worse by his infidelity and personal strife. His unstable state was made worse by these encounters, and his complicated relationship with intimacy and love gave rise to some of his most well-known compositions, like Let's Get It On and Sexual Healing. Some of the relationships in the R&B industry were as spicier than their songs. Number 5. Mary J. Blige and Kendu Isaacs. The American singer, songwriter, and actress Mary J. Blige is referred to as the Queen of Hip-Hop Soul. Over the course of her 3-decade career, she has achieved success with songs including Real Love, No More Drama, Be Without You, and Family Affair. Fans all throughout the world find great resonance in Blige's music, which frequently tackles themes of love, heartbreak, self-empowerment, and healing. Kendu Isaacs was formerly a manager and music producer. His most well-known role is probably that of manager and spouse of Mary J. In 2003, Blige and Isaacs tied the knot. Isaacs regularly accompanied Blige on tours and in her professional pursuits, and the couple's relationship seemed solid in the eyes of the public. They were frequently spotted together at events. Isaacs gained recognition as a result of their marriage since he was heavily involved in Blige's business dealings. After 13 years of marriage, Mary J. Blige and Kendu Isaacs' relationship started to suffer from a number of personal and professional problems. Their breakup was mostly caused by Isaacs' suspected cheating. Blige claimed that Isaacs had cheated on her during their marriage. The allegation that Isaacs had an extramarital affair with Blige's close friend was one of the affair's most damaging aspects. Blige freely expressed her hurt at the betrayal, citing both the infidelity and the fact that it involved a close friend or relative. For Blige, who was already coping with personal challenges like health problems and financial hardships, this betrayal was a devastating emotional blow. Number 7. August Alsina. American singer-songwriter record producer August Alsina originally came to notice in 2013 with his first album Testimony, which included smash songs including I Love This Shit and No Love. Alsina gained prominence in the mid-2010s thanks to his unique fusion of R&B, hip-hop, and soul. Alsina made headlines in July 2020 when he claimed to have had a romantic relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith, which he said was allowed by Will Smith during an interview on The Breakfast Club. After Jada reached out to him during a challenging period in his life, the two grew close, according to Alsina, and their relationship developed from there. The relationship was later confirmed by Jada, who called it an entanglement in an episode of her Red Table Talk Facebook Watch series. She clarified that although she and Will Smith eventually got back together after their separation, the relationship started while they were going through a difficult time. Jada apologized for the incident throughout the conversation, but she made it clear that it was an emotional bond rather than a casual one. The public discovery sparked a lot of discussion in the media, with supporters as well as critics offering their opinions. Although the Smith family has already moved on, the entanglement controversy continues to play a vital role in the public discourse around the couple and Alsina. Number 8. Fantasia Barrino. After winning the 3rd season of American Idol in 2004, the singer, songwriter, and actress Fantasia Barrino became well known in the United States. With her soulful approach and powerful voice, Fantasia has established herself as a major player in R&B and gospel music. Fantasia has pursued acting in addition to her music career. Her role as Celie in the Broadway musical The Color Purple gained her praise from critics and a Tony Award nomination. Additionally, Fantasia has appeared in movies and television series, showcasing her versatility as an entertainer. In the late 2000s, while Antoine Cook was still married to his wife, Paula Cook, Fantasia started seeing him. By the time Antoine started seeing Fantasia, his marriage was in disarray, and he and Paula had 2 kids together. Following the scandal's public disclosure in 2010, Fantasia came under fire. The emotional consequences of the romance were also affecting her at the time. The relationship and the emotional toll it took on her were acknowledged by Fantasia herself. In interviews, she even acknowledged that she made a mistake by becoming involved with Antoine Cook. She was attacked by many for her involvement with a married person after making the contentious public revelation that she was the other lady. When Antoine Cook's wife, Paula Cook, filed for divorce, and Antoine Cook came clean about having an affair with Fantasia while still married, the issue grew even more severe. To add fuel to the media frenzy, Paula Cook even claimed that Fantasia had been the homewrecker in their marriage. Number 9. Toni Braxton and Carrie Lewis. The marriage of Toni Braxton and Carrie Lewis in 2001 appeared to be a match made in heaven. Members of the R&B trio Mint Condition, Carrie Lewis and Toni, one of the genre's most recognizable performers, had a musical connection and were well liked in the music industry. Denim and Diesel are the couple's 2 children. Before divorcing in 2013, they had been married for about 12 years. The pair had a comparatively low-key public relationship during their time together, with Toni concentrating on her music career, which flourished even after they were married. There were speculations that adultery contributed to the dissolution of their marriage, even though the specifics of their breakup were mostly kept under wraps. Carrie Lewis and Toni Braxton, however, never officially affirmed or disputed these allegations. Although Toni has acknowledged the emotional toll the split took on her, she has always treated her ex-husband with respect. Toni acknowledged in interviews that her marriage had difficulties, but she did not elaborate on the causes of their split. It's crucial to remember that during their split, their shared commitment to co-parenting and their kids were the main topics of conversation. Number 10. Aubrey Drake Graham. Drake has a history of romantic relationships with well-known women, many of which have given rise to allegations of infidelity or backstage turmoil. The well-documented on-again, off-again relationship between Drake and Rihanna began in the early 2010s. Although neither verified all the specifics, the two were frequently spotted together, which constantly fed speculations of a sporadic affair. Even though they clicked, there were constant reports in the media that Drake had cheated on Rihanna with other women. Their romance ended badly, and Rihanna even hinted in interviews to Drake's cheating as a contributing factor. Drake and Jennifer Lopez were romantically connected in 2016 after being seen together several times. Although they never officially acknowledged their relationship, they were the subject of infidelity accusations, with many speculating that Drake's previous romances may have contributed to the breakup of his romance with J.Lo. His longtime buddy and partner Nicki Minaj was the subject of another noteworthy reported relationship. Their chemistry and flirtations on stage and in interviews have sparked rumors of a deeper connection, despite the fact that they have never been officially recognized as a pair. Drake's relationship with former adult film star Sophie Brousseau came into the public eye in 2018 when it was reported that she was expecting his child. Over the years, Drake has been romantically associated with a number of women, including Bella Hadid, Kim Kardashian, who denied any involvement, and Kylie Jenner. Even though many of these stories were never verified, they all frequently included speculations regarding cheating. Interesting how R&B stars pour their hearts into songs, but their hearts weren't so loyal. Number 12. Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr. Snoop Dogg, whose real name is Calvin Cortazar Broadus Jr., is a well-known American rapper, composer, and media figure. Snoop Dogg, who was born in Long Beach, California on October 20th, 1971, became well known in the early 1990s and was a major influence on hip-hop and popular culture. The public relationship between Snoop Dogg and Shantae Taylor, whom he married in 1997, has had its ups and downs. Before Snoop became famous all over the world, he had a close relationship with Shantae, his high school love. Cord, Cordell, and Chanel are their 3 children together. Despite having a solid beginning, Snoop and Shantae's marriage started to suffer from the demands of celebrity, his lifestyle, and adultery suspicions. Snoop Dogg's relationship has been put to the test by a number of scandals and accusations of infidelity over the years. Snoop had a number of well-publicized affairs in the early 2000s, and his relationships with other women frequently made the news. One of the most prominent occurrences occurred when Snoop was linked to a lady named Nikki the Intern during his ascent to popularity in the late 1990s. His marriage to Shantae suffered as a result of these cheating rumors, and in 2004, they filed for divorce. Snoop Dogg has expressed regret in public for his errors, particularly with reference to his infidelity and the impact it had on his family. Snoop has made it apparent that he cherishes his marriage and family more than ever before and has expressed sincere regret for his previous actions in interviews and social media posts. Number 13. Tremaine Alden Neverson. There were rumors that Trey was seeing actress Lauren London in the middle of the 2000s. They were frequently seen together, and there was a lot of speculation over their relationship. But neither of them made their relationship public. Because they were so close in the public, there were allegations that their relationship was brief, but was always surrounded by scandal. Actress and model Karrueche Tran, well known for her relationship with Chris Brown, was also connected to Trey Songz. Karrueche allegedly had an affair with Trey Songz when she was dating Chris Brown, which resulted in tumultuous romantic relationships between the two men and accusations of infidelity. Although their brief affair made news, it never developed into a committed, long-term relationship. Tahiri Jose, a reality star who starred on Love and Hip Hop New York, was briefly associated with Trey Songz. Despite the fact that the relationship appeared to be brief, Tahiri's strong personality and their apparent chemistry in public gained a lot of media attention. Additionally, there were speculations that tennis players Serena Williams and Trey Songz were romantically involved. Despite being seen together at a number of gatherings, neither of them ever acknowledged having a romantic relationship. Instead, it appeared that they were acquaintances who occasionally flirted. However, because of their prominent public figures, the media frequently speculated about their relationship. Number 14. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz. Through shared contacts in the music industry, Grammy award-winning singer, songwriter, and pianist Alicia Keys and wildly popular producer and rapper Swizz Beatz first crossed paths in the early 2000s. Swizz Beatz had already made a name for himself as a formidable producer, having collaborated with musicians such as Eve, DMX, and Jay-Z. In contrast, Alicia was becoming well-known thanks to her first album, Songs in a Minor. There was controversy surrounding the start of Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz's relationship. When Swizz Beatz and Alicia first began dating, he was married to his first wife, Mashonda Tifrere, who worked in the music industry. In 2008, their intimate relationship was made public, which sparked rumors that Alicia Keys was responsible for Swizz's marriage crumbling. Mashonda publicly claimed that their breakup was due to Alicia Keys. She asserted that Alicia had an affair with Swizz Beatz while he was still her husband, which led to a great deal of negative publicity for the pair. Both Swizz and Alicia, however, disputed that their romance began prior to the dissolution of his marriage, claiming that their romance did not begin until after he split from Mashonda. Number 15. Robert Sylvester Kelly. In 1996, R. Kelly wed dancer Andrea Lee. Together, they had 3 kids before splitting up in 2009. Andrea Lee filed for divorce, claiming that the marriage had failed due to infidelity and violent behavior. During the course of their relationship, R. Kelly reportedly had several affairs. Later, Andrea Lee addressed R. Kelly's actions, pointing out that his infidelity was a component of the greater pattern of control and manipulation that defined his relationships. His general handling of women and children was the main reason for their split, even though adultery was one of the problems. In 2019, there were speculations that R. Kelly had wed Joycelyn Savage, one of the women who were implicated in the notorious cult-like charges against him. These rumors were never, however, proven to be true. Joycelyn later made public statements claiming that she had been dating R. Kelly for years. It was assumed that Kelly had been engaged with numerous women, frequently dominating or forcing them into sexual engagements, even if the specifics of their relationship were never quite clear. R. Kelly's predatory behavior, which frequently entailed him having relationships with numerous women at the same time and resulted in charges of emotional and sexual abuse, was a major element of his infidelity story. Although these more serious charges took precedence over the cheating accusations, they continued to be a major feature of his turbulent personal life. Next artist to consider is number 17, Kimberly Denise Jones. When Lil' Kim was just 22 years old, her debut album, Hardcore, was made available. Her honest, unreserved words and distinctive voice made the album a huge financial and critical success. Songs like No Time and Crush on You established Kim's status as a major player in the hip-hop industry. No Time was particularly noteworthy because it demonstrated Lil' Kim's capacity to compete with some of the most formidable male rappers of the day. The notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, and Lil' Kim's romantic relationship was one of the most talked about elements of her early career. Intimate and widely reported, the two enjoyed a romance in the 1990s. Rumors about Biggie's adultery with Lil' Kim including the affair with her, were well known at the time, and Biggie was married to Faith Evans. The media frequently covered their relationship, and it was evident that Kim had grown to love Biggie on a personal and professional level. Biggie had a significant impact on Lil' Kim's music and style. Kim frequently referred to him as her mentor. But the relationship also brought about a great deal of personal pain, particularly following Biggie's terrible 1997 murder, which crushed Lil' Kim. Following Biggie's passing, Lil' Kim struggled with sentiments of betrayal, loss, and disorientation, which were frequently portrayed in her music. Number 18. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. The media frequently reported on Bobby Brown's infidelity while he was married to Whitney. Before and throughout their marriage, Bobby was alleged to have had several extramarital affairs. During his marriage to Whitney, his wandering eye and tendency to date other women were widely reported. His alleged romance with Kimberly Kim Jones, not to be confused with the rapper Lil' Kim, with whom he had a kid, was one of the most well-publicized incidents. The tense and unstable relationship between Bobby and Whitney was made worse by accusations that he had extramarital affairs. Bobby acknowledged his infidelity in a few interviews, but the entire scope of all his extramarital affairs was never revealed. Though Whitney Houston's potential extramarital encounters with Bobby Brown were less commonly addressed, Bobby's infidelity was highly publicized. Though there was no hard proof or confirmation of infidelity during their marriage, there have been rumors and speculations over the years regarding Whitney's relationships with other men during her marriage, including the idea that she had romantic or emotional ties to people in the music industry. Although there is no concrete evidence, some fans and press speculated that Whitney's relationship with the notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, might have had a romantic or sexual component. The emotional upheaval was probably worsened by Whitney's personal battles with drug addiction and the toll it took on her marriage to Bobby, which fueled more accusations and speculation about infidelity. Number 19. Sean John Combs. Diddy established Bad Boy Records, one of the most prosperous hip-hop labels in history, in 1993. His position in the music industry was cemented when he helped start the careers of artists like Faith Evans, Mase, 112, the Notorious B.I.G., and others through Bad Boy Records. I'll Be Missing You, an homage to his late friend and singer, the Notorious B.I.G., was a huge smash on Diddy's commercially successful debut album, No Way Out. With the Grammy Award-winning record, Diddy gained recognition for fusing pop, R&B, and hip-hop into a popular sound. His impact as a producer and performer grew further, and he put out a number of further albums. Rumors of infidelity and adultery occurred during Diddy's relationship with Jennifer Lopez, especially when it was suggested that his flirtations with other women caused conflict. Although neither side has ever acknowledged any misconduct during their time together, these rumors were frequently stoked by the media and public speculation. Although Diddy and Kim Porter appeared to be in a happy relationship, there were rumors of infidelity. Diddy was accused by numerous publications of being unfaithful during their lengthy romance, which ultimately led to the couple's breakup. Even after Kim's death, Diddy has consistently shown his admiration and regard for her. Number 20. Eric Clapton. Clapton became well known with Cream. The band, which fused rock, blues, and psychedelic music, was among the first supergroups. The songs Sunshine of Your Love, White Room, and Crossroads are among Cream's most well-known compositions. Clapton became one of the finest guitarists in rock history as a result of the band's popularity. Nevertheless, Clapton pursued a prosperous solo career in addition to working with other musicians when Cream broke up in 1968. Clapton has experienced both sorrow and upheaval in his personal life. His history of drug and alcohol addiction is well known, and he battled his demons for many years before being sober in the late 1980s. The personal life of Eric Clapton has frequently made news, particularly in relation to his romances. His relationship with the Beatles' George Harrison's wife, Pattie Boyd, was one of the most well-known parts of his life. Boyd was married to Harrison when Clapton fell in love with her, and the legendary song Layla was inspired by his unrequited love for her. Clapton and Boyd started dating after Harrison and Boyd's marriage ended in divorce. However, they had a tumultuous marriage from 1979 to 1988. Their relationship suffered as a result of Clapton's substance addiction issues. In her subsequent memoir, Wonderful Tonight, Boyd said that Clapton was emotionally aloof and that his cheating and drug use were the reasons the marriage terminated. Clapton's love life and infidelity have been a part of his public image, along with his relationship with Pattie Boyd, but they haven't surpassed his musical accomplishments. To uncover more intriguing stories among Hollywood celebrities, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Catch you in the next one. Catch you in the next one. Catch you in the